Hi, I'm Michael from Encodian. Today, I'm going to walk you through one of our most practical Flowr actions called Excel Extract Worksheets. So this action is ideal for organizations that manage consolidated Excel workbooks and need to distribute individual sheets securely and efficiently. So we'll explore how to automate the extraction of departmental worksheets from a single Excel file using Power Automate. So let's dive in. Let's consider a common scenario. Your finance team prepares a workbook called budget.xlsx, and it contains worksheets from sales, marketing, IT, legal, and HR. While this is great for centralized data entry, it becomes a challenge when each department only should access its own data. And that's where the Excel extract worksheets action comes in. We'll build a Power Automate flow that splits this workbook into separate files, one for each department, and saves them to SharePoint. So let's build the flow step by step. First, we'll create a SharePoint folder structure. How you can create a new document library or use an existing one. Add the document library named Finance Files for incoming workbooks. And as you can see, I already have created the Finance Files document library and created folders for each department, each with their own unique permissions. Next, we'll create a Power Automate flow. So go to Power Automate and create a new automated cloud flow. And then name it something like split budget worksheets. Then use the trigger when a file is created. Use the SharePoint trigger for it. Then click create. Then we will configure the trigger. So select the site address. Then under the library name, choose the Finance Files document library as the monitored location. The next step is to add the get file content action. So click add an action, type get file content, and use the get file content under SharePoint. So use the same site address, and for the file identifier, insert the dynamic value identifier from the trigger. The next step is to initialize an array variable. So add a new action, type initialize variable, select the initialize variable action, name it departments, and set the type to array. In the value field, type open bracket and then open quote, type sales, quote again, and comma, and then marketing, IT, legal, and then HR. And then close it with a bracket. And then add and apply to each loop. So add another action, type apply to each, then select the apply to each action under control. Use the departments array as the input. So click on the dynamic value and then select departments. And inside the loop, add the Excel extract worksheet action. So add an action, then type Excel extract worksheets. Look for the encoding action, Excel extract worksheets. And for the file content, use the dynamic value from the get file content action. For the worksheet names, use the current item from the loop. Click the dynamic action and then select current item. Lastly, we will create output files in SharePoint. So add another action, type the create file action. Then under SharePoint, click on the create file action. Configure the site address where the files will be saved. And in this demo, the path is finance. So you type in finance files, which is the document library. Then select the current item in the dynamic content. This will create the files in the specific department folders we created earlier in SharePoint. And for the file name, we can use like budget underscore and then select the dynamic value, current item, and then dot XLSX. And for the file content, use the output from the extract worksheets action. So click on the file content and the dynamic value and click the file content. So that's it. We're now ready to save and test the flow. So click on save and then click test. Select manually and then click test again. So now we are going to upload the budget.xlsx folder into the finance files document library. So we upload the budget.xlsx file to trigger the workflow. So now we have uploaded it. Let's check on the workflow. So the flow triggers and it will extract each worksheet and create 5 new Excel files, one for each department. And each file will be saved in each departmental budgets folder as we have named accordingly earlier. So the workflow runs successfully. Let's check the folders now. So let's check on the budget.xlsx file first. So we have sales, marketing, IT, legal, and HR worksheets. And we have different tables for the budgets. And then now let's take a look at each departmental folders. For HR, let's click on HR. And as we can see, it created a file called budget underscore HR. And when we check on it, it will only save the HR worksheets from the budget.xlsx folder. Let's check the other folders. Same goes for IT. And then for the other departments as well as legal, and then marketing, and lastly, the sales department. This approach not only saves time, but also ensures secure department specific access to sensitive data. And that's how you can automate Excel worksheet extraction using Power Automate and Encodian.